My wife, the judge, doesn't even know I'm lying stiff as a board in the morgue. She's too busy nursing a hangover from last night's bar crawl to even think about me. She finally sends me a lazy voice message. Where the hell are you? I won the case. Gonna reward you tonight, and guess what? Aunt Flo just left town. Seeing I didn't reply instantly, she fires off 2 more. Not answering? What's your problem? Just 'cause I didn't help with the case? Get over it. Still nothing from me. Furious, she just straight up blocks my number. It isn't until 3 days later, when I'm still MIA, that it even occurs to her to check on me at the hospital. But she runs smack into a nurse. The nurse, recognizing my wife, just scoffs. Oh, now you're looking for your husband who kicked the bucket on the operating table. Sarah freezes, like she's been punched in the gut? What? Who died? The nurse looks at her like she's an idiot. Your husband, Hank Miller. Seriously, what kind of wife are you? Your hubby had kidney failure and you made him donate a kidney? That's basically a death sentence. Hearing that, she totally loses it, pulling out her phone and practically blowing it up trying to call me. Okay, I'm sorry. Stop being mad. Can you just talk to me? Don't do this to me. I'm gonna lose it. Where the heck are you? This is a joke, right? Please, just text me back. But my phone is dead to her. We were supposed to grow old together, but Sarah, being the hotshot judge, signed off on giving my kidney to her childhood sweetheart who was dying of kidney disease. I tried to tell her, explained that I was in kidney failure too, and another transplant would kill me for sure. But Sarah just screamed at me, all disgusted. Danny's so sick, and you're just jealous and making this about you. Do you even have a heart? So, Sarah forced my hand, sent me to the hospital for the transplant, and I ended up dying alone in some corner of the hospital, my kidney failing fast. While Sarah was holding vigil outside Danny's hospital room, I was lying on a cold steel table, waiting for the end. Tubes stuck all over me, machines beeping like death knocking, reminding me it was time to go. The moment my EKG flatlined, Danny's surgery was declared a success. The lights went off, and my eyes closed for good. Guess I had a whole lot of unfinished business, 'cause my soul decided to stick around and hover near Sarah. Watching Sarah hug Danny, all emotional and teary-eyed, my heart just sank. I wanted to ask Sarah if, for even 1 second while we were both being wheeled into surgery, she worried about me. But I already knew the answer. After all, Sarah took me to court for Danny's sake, hired the best lawyer money could buy, and I lost. When they were cutting my kidney out, I was sweating bullets from the pain. I called her, begging, "Babe, I'm sorry, okay? Don't take my kidney. It hurts so bad, I'm gonna die." I'd never groveled to Sarah before, but I figured if I just gave in, took all the blame, would Sarah have mercy and spare me, just for the sake of 5 years together. But Sarah just laughed coldly on the phone. Apologizing is the least you can do. Saving Danny's life is your good deed. Don't think you're off the hook just 'cause you gave him your kidney. All the times you hurt Danny, I'm keeping score, and you'll pay when he gets better. You wanna die? Then you better apologize to Danny first. I tried to say those accusations weren't true, but I was too weak. Sarah, not done with me, said, all nasty, "You're disgusting." And then she hung up, and my heart shattered, along with 5 years of loving her. Sarah called me disgusting, but back when she married me, she swore she'd love me forever, that I was her number one, her exception, her everything. Then Danny showed up, and I was just chopped liver. Sarah's hand stroked Danny's face so gently, like he was a priceless treasure. "Thank God you're alive, thank God." Her voice choked up, her eyes bloodshot, all telling me Sarah hadn't slept all night worrying about Danny. But while she was busy with that, did she even remember I was dying? Danny managed a weak smile. "Sarah, I'm sorry I worried you. Where's Hank? Is he still mad at me? I should go apologize." The phoniness of it all was so obvious, anyone could see it, but not Sarah. Sure enough, she gently pushed him back down, patting his head. "Silly, Hank's the one who should apologize. You did nothing wrong, you're too nice, people take advantage of you." The nurse, watching them, quipped, "You two are so in love." Then she turned to Danny. "Your wife waited in the hallway all night during your surgery, didn't leave for a second." Danny blushed, but Sarah just kinda stiffened, not bothering to correct the misunderstanding. Then the nurse's tone changed, and she sighed. "Not like the guy on the next table. He came in alone, died alone, no one came to claim the body. Such a shame." Sarah's expression flickered. Hope flared inside me. If Sarah figured out that poor soul was me, would she have a change of heart and give me a proper burial? But after a long pause, Sarah just sighed. "Yeah, that's rough." My hope died. I chuckled bitterly. Sarah was so focused on Danny, she wouldn't give me a second thought. She didn't say anything else about it and followed the nurse as they wheeled Danny to his room. Passing me or where my body lay, Sarah paused. She glanced inside. My cold corpse was right there, feet towards the door, hiding my face. But if she just looked closer, she'd see the scar on my ankle, the one I got saving her life once. After Sarah and Danny went into the room, Jenny, my old friend, ran up, passing Sarah in the hall. Jenny grabbed my hand, shaking, her voice trembling. She wanted to touch my hair, but the moment her fingers touched my cold forehead, tears streamed down her face. "Idiot, why didn't you just marry me? You wouldn't be lying here now, unloved and unclaimed." Seeing Jenny, all frazzled, my heart ached. Guess she rushed back from out of state. After I got married, she left town. Said Sarah couldn't stand her, and she didn't want to cause me any trouble. Better to just go. I'm an orphan. The Miller family took me in when I was 7, and Jenny became my foster sister. At first, she didn't really like me, but the longer I stayed, the nicer she got. I broke things off with my foster parents for Sarah's sake. They wanted me to marry a business partner's daughter, but I knew they didn't care about me, they just wanted an arranged marriage. Jenny helped me escape the Millers, and I knew she had feelings for me. But I could never marry Jenny. My foster parents would never have allowed it. Jenny claimed my body. At the same time, Sarah was heading out to get Danny some food. He suddenly wanted a specific cake from a place 30 miles away, and Sarah jumped at the chance. Meanwhile, I once wanted a sandwich from downstairs, and Sarah couldn't even bother to pick it up on her way home from work. As Jenny wheeled me out, covered in a white sheet, Sarah and Jenny locked eyes. Sarah knew Jenny. "Excuse me." Jenny wasn't polite, but why should she be? Sarah helped kill me. Sarah stepped back, but as Jenny turned away, Sarah's eyes landed on my ankle. "Wait." Sarah chased after her. Who is that?" My breath hitched, afraid Jenny would blurt out the truth, but also hoping she would, so I could see Sarah's reaction. Jenny paused, then finally said, "He was my husband." I froze, and so did Sarah. Sarah knew all about me, including Jenny's crush. "When did you get married?" Sarah blurted it out without thinking, and then she realized what she'd said. Jenny scoffed, not holding back. "That's none of your business, is it, Judge Miller?" Miller? Sarah stumbled, a hint of scorn in her voice. You always said you loved Hank. Guess that was a lie. Jenny stopped, looked back at Sarah, and said, I'm a better person than you. So obvious, I couldn't believe Sarah missed it. I followed Jenny out, glanced back at Sarah. I guess I didn't love her as much as I thought. Danny was discharged a month later. Sarah picked him up. Unlike my death, where only Jenny showed up, Danny's room was packed. His friends and family were all crammed in, and when Sarah walked in, they went wild. Judge Miller, when are you gonna marry our Danny? He's so lucky, you're so eager to take care of him. Danny blushed and mumbled something inaudible. One of his friends snarked, why are you being so nice to that jealous jerk? Sarah loves you. He just makes your life harder. If I were you, I'd have divorced him already. Hearing that, I just laughed. So I was the bad guy, and Danny, as always, made it sound like everything was my fault. What hurt even more was Sarah's reaction. She said nothing, just helped Danny pack, while everyone else stood around like dummies. I remembered our life together. She always said she'd love me forever, but I did all the chores, took all the crap. I thought she'd protect me, but all the worst storms came from her. Judge Miller, Danny's been single all these years for you. You can't let him down now. The most talkative friend grabbed Sarah's arm, pushing them together. My heart ached. So that's what they thought of me? I was the one to blame. Sarah didn't answer. I guess she felt the same. Danny was taken back to Sarah's apartment. It was the one she'd had before we argued, and I'd never been there. I should have known. Danny was her exception. All her rules were bent for him. Sarah arranged Danny's stuff neatly. As she bent over, Danny hugged her from behind. My heart clenched. I wasn't even cold in the ground, and they were getting cozy. It was like Sarah had never been married. Sarah stiffened, like she wanted to pull away, but Danny held her tighter, resting his head on her back, whispering, Sarah, give me another chance? I didn't leave you on purpose. My mom got sick, and I needed your dad's money. Oh, so he took the money and ran? Tragic, but Sarah still clung to the story. Sarah gave a laugh, bitter and empty. If you told me the truth, things might have been different. I could have gotten the money, you know. Danny choked up, but Danny was smart. He knew Sarah hated me now, so he changed the subject, putting the blame on me. Is that why you let Hank bully me? Did he trash my reputation at work? Did he hire thugs to beat me up? Did he refuse to give me his kidney? Lies, all lies. I didn't even know where Danny worked. And me, an orphan? What could I possibly do? If you looked closely, you'd see Danny's lies were full of holes. But Sarah believed it all. And all that stuff about Sarah ignoring him? I didn't do any of that. Ever since Sarah heard those rumors, she dragged me out of my company and berated me in front of everyone, like I'd done something unforgivable. She hired a bunch of thugs to film me naked. Sarah sat and watched, then held the phone in front of me, threatening. If you ever hurt Danny again, I'll post these online. This will haunt you for the rest of your life. I told her over and over it wasn't me, but Sarah was deaf. Now Danny brought it all up again, and Sarah didn't tell him how she tortured me over his lies. So ironic. Why didn't Sarah love me, but still marry me? Sarah, let's start over. Let's pretend you weren't married. I didn't betray you. I really do love you. Danny softened his voice, trying to win Sarah over. Danny always knew how to handle her, and Sarah always fell for it. Meanwhile, when Sarah was angry, I could do anything, but she wouldn't even give me a smile. Love and hate, so obvious. How could I be so blind? The woman who never cracked a smile with me was always sweet to Danny. She'd drop her standards for him in a heartbeat. My heart was breaking all over again. I didn't care how Danny trashed me, or how Sarah hated me. You just got out of the hospital. Get some rest. Sarah pushed Danny away, not answering his question. Then she left. After Sarah left, Danny stomped his foot in anger. Sarah came downstairs, looked up at our balcony. It was dark. I always left a light on for Sarah, no matter how late she came home. It always lit her way. Sarah paused. She went home, opened the door. An empty house, cold and unwelcoming. Sarah frowned. Hank, how long are you gonna sulk? I just took you to court. If you weren't hurting Danny, I wouldn't have done it. Sarah shouted into the bedroom, her voice full of annoyance and blame. I followed Sarah in, chuckling coldly. 5 years together, not worth a single word from Danny. Good thing I died, or things would have only gotten worse. Sarah took my life for Danny. What would she do next? Sarah searched the house. The food I cooked before I went to the hospital was still on the table, all moldy. It was our 5th anniversary. I waited and waited, but all I got was the court order. I knew Sarah was consoling Danny that day, as he waited for his new kidney. Danny was scared of surgery, and Sarah held his hand, telling him not to be afraid. Meanwhile, I was facing death alone, and Sarah wanted the other man to live. Sarah frowned at the mess, then pulled out her phone to call me. 1 ring, 2 rings. I lost count of how many times she called. She was never this persistent. Usually, Sarah would never call me, unless it was important. But today she was patient. But there was no answer. Sarah got a text, her eyes lit up, then dimmed when she saw it was Danny. I wondered if I was imagining things. Sarah, I left something at the hospital. Can you get it for me? Sarah typed yes so fast, then paused at the door, turning back to look at the house. Her expression was unreadable. I chuckled. It was late, but Sarah was always like this. Danny asked, and she jumped. I once had a stomachache and asked her to take me to the hospital, but she said it was too far. Now the hospital was suddenly so close. Sarah drove to the hospital, found Danny's room, and ran into a nurse. I knew that nurse. She was helping during my surgery, and she felt bad for me. The nurse, recognizing Sarah, scoffed. Oh, now you're looking for your husband who kicked the bucket on the operating table. Sarah froze, like she'd been punched in the gut. What? Who died? The nurse looked at her like she was an idiot. Your husband, Hank Miller. Seriously, what kind of wife are you? Your hubby had kidney failure and you made him donate a kidney? That's basically a death sentence.